everybody. This is Angela from Texas, and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the show that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. Today we are joined by 2 of our special guest pickers, Big Zay and Alma. Thanks for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, Championship Sunday, I went 4-0. And El Gato went 2-2. Not too bad, El Gato. Do you have any comments on Championship Sunday?
No, it was some good football, and of course, I'm thinking the best teams won in advance. But wow, it was some close games. That Bengals Chiefs game was crazy there at the end. But in the end, I think we do have the 2 best teams playing. Eagles representing the NFC. They worked hard all year, won the games they needed to, and of course the Chiefs. Had that good run last 8 games and earned the spot in the Super Bowl, and here we are.
All right, yep, here we are. I cannot believe we are talking about Super Bowl Sunday. One thing I do want to mention is we are in the studio recording.
Woo!
All right. And as you can hear, we have an audience, so let's hope they behave. All right. Well, what we're going to do, this podcast, is we're going to each give you our pick for the game against the spread, as well as over-under. The spread is Philly minus 1.5, and the over-under is 51. All right, my pick is the Eagles. Yay, Eagles! And the over. And let me tell you why I've got the Eagles. This is a matchup between the number 1 pass offense, the Chiefs, and the number 1 pass defense, the Eagles. This is the 3rd time that this type of matchup has happened in the Super Bowl. And the previous 2 times, the team with the number 1 pass defense has won in blowout fashion. This bodes well for the Birds. Although the Chiefs have the bigger stars, the Eagles are more well-rounded and have more depth. The Eagles will try to put pressure on Mahomes early to see how healthy his ankle is. I know Andy Reid, and I've said this in previous podcasts, that he is the offensive genius. But I know he will have some tricks up his sleeve, but the Eagles will have answers to those tricks. The reason why I like the over in this game, and the over is 51, the reason is most Super Bowls tend to go over regardless of total points. Offenses are well rested and have an extra week to scheme up more points. What are your thoughts on this game, Alma?
All right. Well, we're looking for a good Super Bowl Sunday. Arizona's going to have good weather. Really looking forward to this game. Can't wait. I know last night Mahomes got the NFL MVP for the 2nd time, but I know it's anti-Cowboy of me. I am going Philly on this one. The last matchup, the Chiefs defeated the Eagles in Philadelphia on October 3rd, 2001. I think the Eagles will be looking for revenge this game. They've been on point. I just really believe that the Eagles are going to pull this one out. And I'm going to go with the over as well. Back in 2017 playoffs, the Eagles won 41-33 against the New England Patriots. 2019 playoffs, Kansas City won 31-20 against San Francisco. I'm going to go with this game, 27 KC, 30 Eagles. Got the over in Philly all the way.
All right. All right, El Gato, what are your thoughts on this game?
On the over, that's what we're talking about, right? The over.
We're talking against the spread and the over-under.
All right. Well, on this game, both teams can play exceptionally well. I think the game, for me, the way I'm looking at it, it's going to be won on the line of scrimmage. The offensive line for either team against the defensive line for the other. I think on this particular game, the Eagles have the stronger on both sides. But, you have Mahomes. He's getting healthier. He's had 2 weeks of rest. He played exceptionally well against the Bengals. you've got Jalen Hurts on the other side, which I think is going to be the X factor because he can pose that running game, which the Chiefs are going to have to account for. Both teams have weapons. Of course, the Chiefs have Mahomes and Kelsey on one side. Chiefs have two very good running backs that can get you 3 or 4 yards. Eagles, on the other hand, have a couple of good running backs. They have A.J. Brown at the receiver spot, good tight end, good offensive line. I think the over on this one, playing in a very good field conditions, I think the over is going to be a solid pick on this one. I'm thinking they can get at least 54 points combined. Against the spread, I'll go with the Philadelphia Eagles on this one at -1.5. I think the way the Eagles are going to cover that is going to be with Jalen Hurts winning it. I think he's going to win it in the fourth quarter. I think that's where the game's going to be decided. It's going to be midway through the fourth quarter. Something's going to happen where someone either misses a field goal, makes a turnover, a field position change on a punt, a stop, a third down stop by either team. That's where it's going to come down to. But I think the Eagles will prevail on this one.
All right, I like that. All right. Big Zay, you are up. What are your thoughts on this game?
All right. Well, as I stated in the past 2 appearances I've been on this podcast, I am a big Eagles fan.
No.
Both literally and figuratively. Yes, and I'm a diehard Eagles fan. With that being said, I'm gonna throw out a couple stats at y'all real quick.
All right. Give it to us.
Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl with the Eagles in his second year as a head coach. This is Sirianni's second year as a head coach. I mean, that's one thing. The league MVP was decided last night between Jalen Hurts and Patty Mahomes, right?
Wrong player got it.
Well,
right
for me, because let me tell you what, the league MVP has not won the Super Bowl the same year since 1999. Wow. I was probably 5 years old. I couldn't even know how to spell my name.
I won't say how old I was. Because I probably didn't know how to spell my name either.
Well, just those 2 things right there, I'm just going to go ahead and say you already know my answer. I got the Eagles covering the spread and winning the game. I also am going to throw a little curveball here compared to the other 3. I have the under in this game, and the reason why I have the under in this game is because of the Eagles' historic defense. And for me, it starts with the defensive line. With the amount of sacks they've had this year, I think that they will get to the quarterback. I think they'll get to Mahomes. I truly don't think that Mahomes' ankle is as good as he says it is, which at the end of the season, nobody's injury is injury-free right now. Yeah. Hurts is, with his shoulder still bummed up. I think that historic defensive line will get to Mahomes, and I think that's going to be the determining factor. I also think that the Eagles secondary is going to be pretty disciplined in containing Mahomes with these little funky plays he does. Throwing underhand, sidearm, all this stuff behind the back. He does everything.
So you think they'll control Travis?
I think so. I think Gardner Johnson was going to be on Travis the whole night, and I think he will be able to contain Kelsey.
That's a good strategy, I think.
Another couple things I have is the red zone play, and everybody knows it comes down to the red zone. Yep. The Eagles are the best offense in the red zone compared to the Chiefs. They have the worst defense in the red zone. And I just think that it's going to, like you said, it's going to be one in the trenches. And, so I got the Eagles winning it all, cover, and also have the under. So,
I like
go
that.
Birds.
I like that. Go Birds. I went back and forth with that over-under, and I understand what you're saying with that under pick because I, like I said, was back and forth. And, that saying that goes, offenses win games, defenses win championships. Yeah. And so that's why I went back and forth with this. And we've got a couple of good defenses, and I see if they show up on both sides, I can see that under. Right, but I just think that this is going to be a blowout with offenses. Let's hope. Yeah. But we'll see what happens, right?
I agree with that. I think both offenses are going to show up, and it may take up until maybe some halftime adjustments, third quarter or fourth quarter adjustments for both teams to say, okay, well, let's tighten up our schemes, our coverages, and but maybe they'll have that thing covered by midway through the third, going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Alma mentioned, a 27-24 game by going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
That covers it already on the over.
And if you see if you go back to Super Bowl, when the last time I believe Super Bowl 55 with the Chiefs versus the Bucks were able to get pressure on Mahomes, and which really made him flustered back there. And I know Mahomes, when he gets out of he's most dangerous out of the pocket,
Exactly.
on the run.
So do you think that Eagles defense will test Mahomes from the get-go, maybe blitz him right away? Or
I
what do
think
you
so.
think?
I think there's going to be some pressure. I also do think that the Eagles' front four will be able to put some pressure.
Do you think they maybe blitz him to go one way on the field to test that ankle and
I
see
think
how
so.
to see if he can even scramble?
Yes, sir. I think so. I think that they're that's going to be Reddick's. I've been preaching about Hassan Reddick this past couple weeks. I think that that's going to be his goal, is to get to Mahomes the same way he did to Purdy, which was very sad to see that Purdy got hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining because we're in the Super Bowl. But anyways,
But you know what? The Eagles would have won that game anyway, Purdy or not Purdy.
Right.
I think they would have won that game. It was clear.
I will tell you this one thing about this game. A Kelsey brother will win.
I'll
That
go
is
with that.
exactly right. And another thing, I think a quarterback from Texas is going to win.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, hey, 100% on both of those.
yeah.
All right. You guys got any other comments on this game?
Other than looking forward to a good NFL Super Bowl Sunday, I'm hoping, I'll be shocked if this game is not a close game. I mean, I'll be shocked because both offenses can score, both defenses can defend. So we're going to see which one gives way. But I'm hoping this thing goes to the fourth quarter. Alma had a prediction. We were talking earlier before the show on when the game was going to be decided. I'm thinking it's going to be decided maybe midway through the fourth quarter, maybe at the 7-minute mark, 6-minute mark, where some team, one or the other, is going to make a mistake. Either they fumble, they're going to miss a crucial field goal to seal the game. That gives the other team an opportunity to go down the field and win it. I think it's going to come down to that. A turnover, a fourth down, stop, a third down, get off the field and get the offense back on. I'm hoping it's that. I hope it's an entertaining game where all the fans, the whole NFL, whoever follows the NFL can stay through the duration of the game and enjoy the full 60 minutes of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think both of these teams are evenly matched. It might even come down to a special teams play.
We haven't raised this question. Who has the coaching advantage on this one? Who do y'all think? Andy Reid?
Well, it's Andy Reid Bowl, right? Yeah. Because
I mean,
if you think about it,
do you think he has an axe to grind against his former team? What do you think?
I think that, there's going to be a lot of heart in this game. There's going to be a lot of heart in this game because I don't know if y'all saw, but Sirianni used to coach, was under Andy Reid, and Andy Reid fired him.
I did not know that.
Sirianni went off to do other things, and now he's our head coach. So I think it's going to be a lot of heart in this game, a lot of emotions going on, but it's going to be an interesting one. Back to what you said about the trenches, the game being won in the trenches. This is actually going to be a fun game to watch between the offensive and defensive line. I mean, just for instance, you got, just like I talked for the Eagles, I'll talk for the Chiefs. Chris Jones for the Chiefs, that guy's a monster right there. And the thing about him is that he doesn't just stay in one spot. He moves around the whole offense.
I've even seen him in the middle, underneath the center.
Yeah,
at times.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's going to be it'll be pretty awesome to see Chris Jones and Jason Kelce going at it, and just all the way around. And also Jordan Mailata. Fun fact, he's my wife's favorite. I don't know if you heard that cheer back there. Jordan Mailata, he's our left tackle. Sorry, babe. He's actually our weak spot in our offensive line, and that scares me because the Chiefs have Frank Clark, and they also have the rookie from Purdue, Karlaftis. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but there are some dogs out there on the defensive end. So I think that Jordan Mailata is going to step it up.
But he's held up. Throughout the season, throughout the playoff run. I mean, there's no reason why he can't hold up against these guys.
Right. And I'm hoping he has a great game. The rest of the offensive line, I don't know, our left guard, Landon Dickerson, left the game with an elbow injury. Hoping him. I haven't checked the status on that, but I'm hoping he'll come back. Another fun fact, then I'll get off of it, about the trenches. The Chiefs' defense are actually 1 for 14 against the QB sneaks. And if y'all know the Eagles, they do like running the QB sneaks, whether that's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, or even on the red zone, or even, just to catch a team off guard. I really think that...
you mentioned earlier that the game will be won in the red zone. So do you think maybe that if the Eagles have an opportunity to extend maybe a drive, say they're on the 30, they don't want to settle for a field goal. So you think that if they're at a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you think it'll be, with that stat that you just mentioned, you think they'll, instead of settling for a field goal, since the Chiefs can score at will, you think they'll try to extend those drives and go on 4th down?
Absolutely,
I think so.
Absolutely. Jalen
so.
Hurts has some muscles in those legs, so they're going to use them to their advantage.
I think he'll be an X factor in this
Oh,
game
yeah.
because the Chiefs are going to have to. The Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are going to have to account for him in the run game.
Yeah.
So that's an extra weapon that the Chiefs, they're not as strong, in my opinion, as the Eagles on defense. So with them having to account for another weapon, is just going to spread them out even more. So instead of, say, Chris Jones rushing and attacking the quarterback the way he normally has throughout the playoffs, throughout the season, if he's at the defensive end position, maybe he's going to have to hold back a little bit. Maybe Jalen will run.
And see, it's funny.
He won't know.
It's funny that you say that because the Kansas City Chiefs are ranked 19th in the NFL against the RPO when it comes to rushing yards. They give up an average of 4.7 yards per carry against the RPO, which the Eagles can totally, expose the Chiefs and
take advantage
of it. And that's, like you said, with Hurts and with his strong legs, doing his thing. So I think the Eagles offense, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Run pass offense, a lot of read options, see what Chris Jones is doing. Yep. But the trenches, this is going to be a fun game to watch.
I think the team that stays on schedule, stays in front of the chains, stays out of those 3rd and long positions. If they're like 3rd and 3, the team that can stay in that down and distance, I think will prevail in this one. I think the Eagles are built for that game right there.
And to answer your question, though, for the 4th downs, with Sirianni having the confidence he does and with Jalen Hurts being the player he is, they're going to go for it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Big Zay mentioned the honors last night, the honors awards, and MVP went to Mahomes, head coach went to Dable. I think this is going to light a fire under the Eagles.
I think so.
I mean, it's a little bit of disrespect. Sirianni wasn't even in the top 3, and he's got his team into the Super Bowl. Yeah. So I think they're gonna want to prove a point. Yeah. So I think they're going to come out strong in this one.
I think you're right. A lot of the experts in the beginning of the year discounted Jalen Hurts. They thought he would regress a little bit. That there's more tape on him for NFL defensive coordinators to scheme on him, and he performed well. He missed a couple of games throughout the year or during the season, latter half of the season, that maybe cost him the MVP. Maybe he was the one that deserved it. Who knows? Yeah,
it's going to be a great game. I think this will be a game that they talk about as one of the best Super Bowls ever.
Yeah. And we had it right on this podcast.
And we did.
One more thing, though. I'm just gonna throw it in there. The winner of this game will actually have more wins in that stadium than the Arizona Cardinals did this year. And
I like that stat, Big Zay. I like that stat. All right, so let's talk about bonus bets. Do we have any bonus bets out there? Maybe prop bets, Big Zay?
Yeah, so I have a couple. I have one realistic one. They're both pretty realistic in my opinion, but I have one.
But they're prop bets, right?
Yeah, you never know. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with one right now. I'm gonna go with my anytime touchdown score, and I'm gonna give it for Boston Scott for plus 460. And Boston Scott is our running back. Is one of our running backs. We have a 3-headed backfield.
3-headed? Is he the third back?
He's the third back right now. Okay. Yeah, but
wow.
let me tell you why though,
right.
because when it comes down to
Tell us.
he is a red zone threat. And his 10 he's had 10 attempts in the red zone, and 10 of those attempts he's had a total of 3 TDs, which that's pretty good odds, and we take it down there. But he's a short, stocky running back. He's also a pass game threat, somebody who can catch out of the backfield. He's also been on fire as of late. He's scored a touchdown in each of the last 3 games, and for me, that's pretty good as a third string running back. So for plus 460, I'll take Boston Scott to be a touchdown scorer in this game.
So for the listeners out there, the plus 460 is put down 100 to win 460.
Yes, plus 460. If you've got plus 460, you've got to bet 100 to win $460.
On a friendly
So that,
wager.
on a friendly
On
wager.
a friendly wager.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Good shot.
All right.
What's your other prop bet?
My other prop bet is MVP award winner
All right.
Hassan Reddick plus 3,000. Hassan, yeah, and
That's
that
going out there.
yeah, it really is.
Oh, you didn't pick any of the stars.
No.
Well, it hurts.
You see, Hassan Reddick's being disrespected because that man is a star. If you look at his stats compared to Micah Parsons, the Bosa's, this guy is up there with them. He's one of the best
So
pass
you
rushers in the league.
expect him to get some sacks and a strip
really do.
fumble or something?
I really do. I mean, he's going up against Andrew Wiley, which is the right tackle for the Chiefs. That's their weak spot in their line, and that's where Reddick is mostly lined up at. So I really think that Reddick's going to try to get in there and try to attack Mahomes on his ankle. And he's actually the leader of this elite historic defensive line. He's been making a lot of noise. He's felt disrespected, which makes me feel disrespected. And of course,
I love that.
And of course, we know the quarterbacks. They always get the Super Bowl MVP. Offense players. It's a lot easier for them. But the last defensive Super Bowl MVP was Von Miller when he played for the Broncos. His stats for the game were 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks. That's very doable for Reddick, in my opinion.
Big Zay pulling out the stats.
I really
Yeah.
and I also think he seals the MVP award by getting a clutch sack at the end of the game, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. That
You
fourth
know,
quarter
yeah.
stop that I was
All
talking
right,
about
yeah.
earlier.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
You
Yeah.
said it, El Gato. You said
We're
it.
watching.
Y'all are on the
So,
same wavelength
so
right
I
now.
got Hassan Reddick, MVP award winner, plus 3,000.
All right. Let's go. What about you, El Gato? You
Well-
got a good prop or bonus bet?
I've got a simple parlay bet. And
All
this
right.
parlay is going to be set up like this. It's going to be setting up the parlay is picking two bets. They both have to score. It's a simple $25 bet. It's with the over of 51 and the Eagles at -1.5. So a simple $25 friendly wager. Both bets have to come through though. $25 bet. You can pick up $65 at the window. So call MGM, call Caesars, go to Vegas, fly to Vegas, place that bet in, get it done.
All right. Well, I do have a prop bet, bonus bet. I have the Eagles to score first.
All right.
There we go.
They have. Woo! Go Birds! All right, go Birds! They have
So-
not trailed in a playoff game this year. That is going to be -125. So what that means is you've got to put $125 down, friendly wagering, to make $100. That is a bet right there.
I've
Let's
got
go.
I've got another bet here.
All right.
It's called a prom night bet. It's just a tip. Just
Prom
a tip.
night. Do we want to go into your prom night bet?
It's just a tip.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm gonna take.
Now this is a G-rated podcast.
It's G-rated.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
I'm gonna take.
I want to make sure.
Zay went with defense as the MVP. I'm gonna go all out on this one. I'm gonna go with the one that was disrespected for the league MVP. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts as the game MVP. I think he's gonna produce over 50 yards on the ground. He's gonna throw a couple of touchdowns, no turnovers, but he's gonna keep drives going. I think he wins the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
I like that
All
one.
right. All All right. You got any other comments before we end this podcast?
I know Alma's itching to say something.
Oh, no.
You know what she's itching to do? She's itching to say, fly,
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Blow him high and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
All right.
EAGLES, Eagles!
All right, go Birds! Well, I think you know who this podcast is leaning towards. But thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also, hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. Thank you to Big Zay and Alma for joining us today. All right. Make sure to join us in 2 weeks. We will continue with this podcast off season, giving you March Madness picks,
Nice.
NBA
Love it.
picks, baseball picks when it starts,
Yes.
and maybe even throwing in a horse pick
Stop the
here
madness.
and there.
Stop the madness.
All right. As always, thank you to El Gato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3,
Break.
break!
Yeah.